Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. My name is Janice Robertson, and I am the Partner Marketing Manager here at Alto, and I will be today's moderator. I'm excited to have with us today Hannah Nicholson, Paul Tobin from Snappily, as well as Ruben John from Hunters. Hannah will be diving into the evolving compliance landscape and show how agencies have been turning this cumbersome and manual compliance task into seamless digital experience. And Paul will be chatting later with Ruben to get some insights on how he's been taking a digital-first approach. Now, I'd like to hand it over to today's presenters to introduce themselves and share their expertise with you today. So, Hannah, over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Hannah Nicholson. I'm the CEO and founder of Snappily. We were formerly called Move Genius, so you may have heard of us by that name in the last few years. I founded the company around 2.5 years ago, and we've been an integration partner with Alto for the last 2 years, and very much looking forward to telling you today about how you can drive efficiency through digital compliance. By background, I'm a former lawyer turned prop tech founder, so really hoping to give you some key tips today.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm Paul Tobin, the Sales Director here at Snappily. Early career, I spent some time in agency, albeit lettings, but more recently, for the last 9 to 10 years, I've been in the property industry, namely supporting conveyancers and various stakeholders to drive efficiencies, best practice compliance, and boost profitability through leading technology and data.
Awesome. So I will dive in. We're going to keep this, as we said, interactive at the end with the Q&A. Paul and I will try and get through in 20 minutes. It'll be short and snappy, I promise. So firstly, what are we going to talk about? We're going to explain how you as agents and business owners can simplify compliance with Snappily, as well as bolstering compliance. We'll explain a bit how you can actually win work and ramp revenue. It's not all doom and gloom compliance these days. So who are we? So Snappily is the first end-to-end compliance software designed for homeowners to prepare their homes for sale digitally for you as agents. So as you'll see on the right, this is a snapshot of a seller digital task list bespoke for your agency. And Paul will be going through in detail a bit more about the platform later. So market challenges, which I'm sure lots of you are facing at the moment. It's taking 179 days from listing to completion. This is sloth-like, as you can see in the picture, which is shockingly 25% slower over the last 3 years, given how cumbersome compliance has become. This is 65 days now from listing to contract signed, and fall-throughs have increased up to 33%. So how are we going to help address some of these challenges? Is we strive to digitalize and delight consumers and agents alike. So I'm sure you'll all be very familiar with the current manual process of compliance. So you've got your maybe paper property information forms, you've got to go get your EPC, your title deed, and you may be friends with the photocopier still. So if your process is pretty fragmented like this, this is what it could look like. So this is the Snappily all-in-one digital process, which has your 5 pillars of compliance, everything on the left, encapsulated in one app for your buyers, sellers, and you as an agent. So a bit about why digital compliance is essential, particularly this year. You as agents, you need to stay competitive in this market. And one way is to embrace a digital-first approach to reduce repetitive tasks, save time, and simplify your workflows. So 2024 was really a game-changing year. Trading standards issued fines up to £9,000 for non-compliance with the new listing regs, which were updated last December. And there's been a huge digital increase. We've seen a great appetite for agents and consumers to do things on the move. So 72% of home buyers now browse Rightmove on their phones. So this is showing people like to do things on the go, on the tube. They're fed up of paper forms, and you need to show your agency in the best light possible. So the impact of regulatory changes. So with my lawyer hat on, I will make you aware of where we're at. So material information reg. Since December 23, obviously, there's been a requirement for agents to prepare listings with greater transparency. Phase 2 came out last December 24. Obviously, you have to update your PIFs with questions about parking, cost of living. But next up, which was announced this week, hot off the press, is the Digital Market Competition and Consumers Act, which is a bit of a mouthful. Now we'll have enforcement powers over agents as of April. So we heard quite a few agents last year saying, oh, I'm not that scared of trading standards. It's a small body. How are they going to enforce all of the material information? So CMA is a huge body, and they are going to be able to issue fines. So you need to watch this space this year. As I'm sure you're aware, land reg title deeds pricing hike was December 24. Costs have gone up from £3 to £7. So you need to think about who's going to bear this cost. How are you going to incorporate this into your workflows? And lastly, AML and security enhancements. So I feel like ID AML digital platforms were all the rage a year ago and 2 years ago, but now there's just so much more to compliance. Imperative you're doing your politically exposed persons and sanction check with biometrics. That and a liveness check, which we do as well if you haven't met the seller in person. And then land reg fines for AML and security. Imagine if you're not storing your compliance documents properly, got bits of paper everywhere, you're storing them for more than 7 years. Again, you can be fined for those breaches. So some strategies for you how to minimize costs. Adapt to rising staffing costs. So with an end-to-end digital tool, you can save on admin overheads by replacing or supplementing hiring with tools like Snappily that streamline efficiency. Obviously, with the new government, there's a 6.7% wage increase in April. National insurance costs spiraling. So it's getting more and more expensive to hire staff. Could have this estate agent in your pocket. This compliance manager is great for small self-employed agents and small teams, particularly who don't have an overarching head office with a compliance manager. And Snappily doesn't go on holiday or take 6 days, so it's always there. Which I'm really keen to get your thoughts on, which we've heard a lot about from agents in the last year, is passing on this cost to customers to cover ID checks, land reg fees, EPCs, and admin time. So yeah, keen to hear your thoughts on this in the Q&A if you have any thoughts on this. If you have a look, just to give you an idea of time savings for agents by listing volume, that's end to end. So if your agency, you're doing around 5 listings a month, you could save 10 hours per month. If you're doing around 30 listings, this is 60 hours. I mean, think of the man hours that takes up. Your agent should be getting out, selling, and the cost to your business. So if you worked out what your average agent or case progressor costs you per year, this is an exponential amount. So don't see compliance as all doom and gloom. It can be a growth driver. So turn compliance into your competitive edge. So here are 3 tips. Boost your reputation and your referrals. So using a digital tool enhances experience. So as I said, no paper, everything in one place, and it's impressive to your clients. Also boosting referrals. So as you'll see in the screenshot through Snappily, you can actually appoint the conveyancer at the point of listing. And this can be your recommended conveyancer. or it can be a movement integrated conveyancer through Alto. So again, you can encapsulate referrals and get a boost from that. Reduce fall throughs. So we've added up the numbers for you. If you're doing around 10 listings a month, if you save just one fall through, you can gain an extra around 4K. So fall through around 13,000 a month, monthly loss for 10 listings. So obviously this happen for a range of reasons, but one being preparing upfront information, lack of transparency on listings, buyers then not knowing what they're actually buying. This shows that a tool like Snappily, it pays for itself if you're saving 4K a month, because we're not that expensive, promise. And ultimately save time, generate more business. So free up time for growth, driving sales and revenue from referrals. So the last tip from me is how you can enhance the client journey digitally. Lots of us have bought and sold homes, and compliance is stressful for consumers and agents. So this is just a snapshot of the digital property information form on Snappily. I've taken inspiration from Airbnb actually, because I list my flat for rent on there. And if you've ever used it, they have an amazing user experience. So we've used a lot of imagery. You can click on your phone on the go to complete the PIF. Is there ground rent? What's the property type? And really impress your clients. So we have an app for both buyers and sellers, access on mobile. It includes all 5 pillars of compliance digitalized in one place. And on the next slide, I'll tell you what those 5 pillars are. And it's simplified to build trust. For agents, we've streamlined the process into a dashboard. So you have all compliance documents in one place, and it's all speedy onboarding by the Alto integration. So you don't have to put sellers' details in again. So lastly from me, the Snappily digital compliance checklist. So if you're not asleep yet, this is a key takeaway slide from today. So what you should be having is an updated property information form that's digital, updated with the regs from last December. You've obviously need to get automated title deeds and EPC. So this is all integrated in the Snappily app. We do ID and AML checks through Credas. That's all built in again, Credas being one of the top government ID providers. We have an e-sign functionality, so sellers can e-sign your contracts, so terms of business, engagement letters, things like that. And everything is secure and shareable digitally in Snappily and automatically in Alto. So that's enough from me. I'm going to hand over to Paul, who's going to have a quick chat with Ruben, so you can hear from the horse's mouth how he's found Snappily so far.
Thank you.
Over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Hannah, and thanks everyone for joining us and staying with us for this far. So, Ruben, massive thank you to you, sir. Thank you for joining us to kind of share your experience as an integrated Alto and Snappily customer. Makes sense. Maybe just kick off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, sir, and how Snappily's changed your approach to sales listing compliance.
Yeah, good morning, Ruben. Head up the sales division for 2 offices for Hunters, West Hampstead and Stoke Newington, which are both fairly high business offices in London. We've found that Snappily very easy to use. As we know, digitalization, automation is future of the industry. There's no getting away from it. I think the fact that it's fully integrated with Alto has made our jobs a lot easier. You know, for me, I'm old school in the sense that an instructing negotiator should be instructing property. They shouldn't be chasing for ID. And it's allowed our instructing negotiators to do exactly that, to get on with winning us more business.
Fantastic. Is there any, obviously we mentioned about the five pillars there that you've got access to. Is there anything in particular that you like the most? Anything that stands out about your experience with Snappily?
I think all of it, to be honest with you. It's something that we don't have to worry about. We're estate agents, and what we should be concentrating on are taking properties on market share and selling those properties. And compliance has become stricter and stricter, as we know, and that's not going away. Snappily gives us peace of mind that we are fully compliant and that we're not going to have any issues in the future.
Fab. And as Hannah's kind of outlined at the top of the session, it's shaping up to be a busy year for compliance 2025. Landscape is changing. What if anything, kind of pieces of advice would you give to anybody on this call today from your perspective?
I think, like all estate agents, it's I'd say two things. The first one is all about market share. I'm a great believer that market share is number one. And as I said, Snappily enables us to increase market share, not worry about the paperwork that comes with it. I think the compliance side, there's just no running away from. And so this enables us to just get on with estate agency. I'm in a position where I'm you can imagine, offered many products, and I'm always asked by the owners to look at ROI. And for me, I'm heavily data driven, and the data says it all. It screams it. The cost of Snappily is less than one instruction for my branch, and if we're saving, I mean, Hannah mentioned 60 hours. I work it out to roughly 3-4 days, so similar over a 1 month period. 3-4 days, my instructing negotiator can easily win us another 5 or 6 properties. On our average fee, we're looking at ROI within 1 month, so it's a no-brainer.
Brilliant. No, thank you. And I suppose anything else to add before we move on to have a little sneak peek of the platform itself?
Yeah, I'd say, I'm sure you're going to send out demos to people afterwards. It is so simple to use. Even an estate agent can use it.
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much, Ruben. So as I mentioned there, let's look at the time there. Let's whiz through and have a quick sneak peek at the platform, a quick snapshot, time permitting. So how do we kind of digitalize and delight agents and sellers alike? We obviously provide them a digital task list, helping them through one task at a time. Firstly, let's have a little look at the agency dashboard, and then we come on to some of the steps of the seller journey itself. So this is the agency dashboard. A lot of agents tell us very useful tool, very handy to take into meetings, predominantly, and ultimately it gives you a complete snapshot, complete oversight of all your sales listings, progress to date in terms of compliance and getting sales listing ready. Just looking from left to right, you've got all of your properties listed there by owner, so by agent. And then I guess importantly, you've got the tasks there. We've mentioned, obviously, Hannah said about the 5 pillars of compliance, pulling through the land registry title deed. And then you've got a bar that represents each of the e-signing terms of business, digitally completing AML checks and completing the digital PIF, which we'll take a little look at shortly. And we've just adopted, again, for ease of use, a simple traffic light system. Green, the job is done. Orange, it's in progress or needs some attention. And red hasn't been started yet. Agents tell us that they really like being able to resolve any issues, send prompts and reminders from within the platform. A lot of people tell us that they may send reminders to complete AMLs or complete the PIF on a Friday, leaving a chance for sellers leaving a busy life to get it done over the weekend, and you're walking back in on a Monday, hopefully with a green tick on the far right, as you can see, for 6 Monkham's Avenue, that says this listing is ready to go live, and you've got the full kind of audit check, sales ready from within. You'll also note there on the right hand side, and it will be present on the rest of the kind of screenshots and slides we have, you've got support. Tech in all walks of life only goes so far. It's as long as it's meaningful, purposeful, and in the hands of experts, that's when you've got your winning solution. And we offer support not only to agents, but to their sellers to kind of help them navigate the changing landscape and compliance from end to end. So if you look here, how does that look? Clicking add seller there, sorry. Yep, if you're to click onto add seller. So those of you who are an auto valued customer, as part of the onboarding stage, we do all the heavy lifting for you in kind of your time frames. We seamlessly integrate. So all of the properties that are currently sat within Alto get integrated into Snappily. If you're not an Alto customer, Snappily is available obviously on a standalone basis as well. You do a simple postcode lookup to find the property, but the simplest way, being an Alto customer, is to click on board. That would take you through to confirm and verify the seller's details and contact details. You then, from within the system, check ownership through an integration through Land Registry. Click the button, order a title deed, pulls through to the system, success, ready to go, check for ownership there. You're then looking on the system, checking for, making sure there's an up-to-date EPC in place. Again, I suppose as part of the onboarding, we welcome agents to provide details of any EPC partners, providers they use, and we give the functionality to instruct to get an updated EPC directly from the platform. Again, one less place to go. And then from the seller app snapshot, again, we've got the 5-pillar journey, but just looking you'll see it here, sorry. So once you've checked verified ownership, simple single link to the seller, one place to complete each of the tasks, streamlining, simplifying, and ultimately providing that enhanced customer experience. You're inviting them to e-sign your terms of business, your agency agreement, digitally complete the AML, and complete the property information form, and appoint a conveyancer should you wish to have that functionality, as Hannah mentioned. Just looking at time, we're just going to look at maybe one of the aspects, and it's probably one of the key aspects for 2025, with material information being at the forefront, being such a hot topic. I guess our approach to getting material information surfaced as quickly as possible is, all, as Ruben suggested, is all about the ease and the usability. We put the seller first in the design, image-based, smart forms, really simple, multiple choice, to give them the chance to really shine the spotlight on their property, trying to make it an enjoyable experience, what's otherwise quite a lengthy paper format documented process. So we take the stance, the easier it is for sellers to provide the information, they're going to find the time to do it, and they're going to provide more information to make sure your listings are as complete as possible. So where are we? Nearly at time. Burning question, always the way. It looks great, Paul. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Hannah. But what does it cost? Here's just kind of a snapshot indicative of pricing. 3 scenarios, up to 10 listings, up to 20 listings, and 20 listings plus. Again, it's a volume basis. From 10 listings, from £25 plus VAT per listing. For 20 monthly listings, you're looking at 20 plus VAT, and for 20 monthly listings plus, you're looking at 15 listings plus. You've got the economies of scale there. Land registry title deeds are pay-as-you-go extra because it's not vatable, and since the price increase there, but you're making a lot of time savings and monetary savings there. So everything else we've seen as part of those 5 pillars are included in that price. And at this point, I always kind of pose the question, and I think we posed the question earlier on. There's a real mix, really, and the industry is certainly moving towards passing the cost on, much like a conveyancer would for disbursements. The appetite is changing. Again, there's competitive factors in each kind of area, but a lot of agents are actually looking to pass this on with or without a markup. So it's potentially becoming a free service, and maybe even an extra revenue stream as well. So what does that look like? Effectively, as I say, integrated partner, you'll see in the top right-hand corner in Alto, under tools, under integrations, simple click to integrate with Snappily. That gets the process underway. We work towards your own timeframes with onboarding, and part of the welcome pack is to invite you, obviously, for a 6-month trial, pay-as-you-go or subscription basis available. But I guess the main thing is it is no disruption to your service, and all your data pulls through simply. So what's next? Thank you ever so much. Just before we get on to Q&A, as Janice mentioned, she'll be in touch, providing more information about the session and gathering feedback. From my perspective and Hannah's, we'd love to chat with you, maybe discuss on one-to-one basis, a bit more information, show you the platform in more detail, help you fact check some of the data we've had there. And it's always the way, as soon as we jump off these webinars, things start coming to our mind. So any questions you don't ask in a second, feel free to fire across. You can email it to sales@snappily.co.uk. Thank you. Over to you, Janice. Sorry.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Hannah, and thank you, Ruben, for your insight today. Really great stuff. I am now going to open it up for questions and answers. So there is a Q&A chat box as well as our regular chat box if you want to do either. I have seen questions come in at both. So let's go ahead and start with some questions that are in the Q&A chat box. To the Snappily team. A question has come in. There seems to be a lot of technology in this space right now. Why Snappily?
Yeah, I can field that. Good question. And there's a lot of great providers tackling and digitalizing compliance. For me, and probably more importantly, maybe for the agents, they tell us one, as Ruben alluded to as well, you've got the auto integration. If you're going to be introducing new software, ideally it wants to supplement and complement your existing. But also, as we've said, agents and sellers, they tell us the simplicity is key. It's a difficult challenge, compliance, staying abreast of it, and keeping up to date with obviously material information. So simplicity, ease of use, convenience, not just for agents, but for sellers alike is the winning formula. And that's what's really working for Snappily.
Great, thank you. Another question in the queue is, what if I get audited?
Yeah, so I can take this one. So all your compliance documents are digital within Snappily, and they will pull through to Alto as well. So you have a secure store of those documents within Alto, which you can download all. It's important. I mean, we follow the compliance rules for you. So your PIF's up to date, your IDAML, and no documents can be stored for more than 7 years. So you would simply download and import from Alto, or show Snappily. So it's a great audit trail to have.
Great, thank you, Hannah. Another question that has come into the Q&A chat box is, can the PIF be tailored, and do vendors have the option to free type in any of the fields?
Yeah, absolutely. Given the PIF's been my baby from a design perspective, we are very comprehensive in the property information form, can send you a copy of it. We try to extract as much information as possible. So if you say, yes, you do have spray foam, you'll be obligated to provide additional information in a free text field. On top of that, on the agency platform, there's like a sticky note option. So agents can add their notes as well if something's high risk. That's something we built recently based on some feedback. So yes, it's very comprehensive.
Great. 2 more questions, and I think we'll have to close it. Next question is, what if a seller doesn't want to do it digitally?
I think the key is,
Yeah,
one, it's offering the choice. I think in every aspect of our lives, we have a kind of a modern digital experience. I think a lot of agencies, maybe there's a bit of apprehension towards offering digital because it doesn't kind of fall in line with what they're currently doing, as we saw on that slide on the left-hand side. But I think any one of us, like Hannah said, you know, we've all gone through the seller experience. I think to be offered the ability to have one email, one click, and do everything from one place versus go here, there, and everywhere for different parts of the process. I think you're going to go for simplicity and convenience every day of the week.
but to add to that, we have really taken a lot of time to think about this, and we don't try and force your business down a digital route if you have older people that actually want to come in with their copy of ID and passport. So for all the tasks, except the PIF, there is a manual option. So ID and ML, if they've come in, showed you a copy, terms of business, they've already signed on evaluation, you can manually upload and the status will go green. So I think we're very different from elsewhere in the market in that there is this manual option and a paper trail of what's been done. Some agents have an iPad in their office. Someone comes in, they can help them complete the PIF. So yeah, we have dual functionality which we've built, which is very helpful.
Wonderful. And last question, because we are at time. Do you guys do lettings?
No, that's someone called Goodlord who are also integrated with Alto, which is a big separate beast. If I set up another company, maybe one day. But for now, we're focused on sellers and building out the buyer platform as well.
Wonderful. Well, I would like to personally thank everyone on the call today and joining us. I hope you found today's session very insightful. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Ruben, for being here with us today. There will be a follow-up email, so look out for that. And with that, everyone, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Everyone.